want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We don't hear that much anymore. We all want to be part of the story. We want to interact. So now I'm going to tell you a story. And with those 4 words, I just changed your brain chemistry. Anthropologists believe that 70% of what we will ever know in our lives, we will have learned through story. So I'm going to tell you a story. The story takes place, the start of the story takes place a long time ago in a country far, far away. And this story is about a young artist who got hired into one of the most creative companies in the world. And it was great. He was doing fine. He was in the production side. He made things. But his dream was to be on the idea side. He wanted to create ideas. He wanted to create stories. He wanted to create things. But there was a problem. He was an introvert. And in the entertainment industry, the people that get noticed are the ones with the big personalities and usually the loudest voices. And so he had to somehow figure out a way to overcome this. Let me ask you a question. How many of you have ever been in a meeting, maybe it's a brainstorming session, where the loudest voice was thought to have the best ideas? Yeah, all of us. Of course, it's not true. Too many ideas were never birthed, never saw the light of day, because an introvert has an idea. So how do we fix this? Well, what that guy did, not me, that guy. Back then, his hair was as dark as Pinocchio, and now it's like Geppetto. But he decided to lean in to his introversion. He stopped thinking about it as a flaw or something that had to be overcome. He actually leaned into it. And he thought, this is how I can make my way through. You see, because introverts, we're somewhat quiet, but we are deep thinkers. We don't just talk to fill in the pauses. We talk when we have something important to say. And so that's what he did. He would go to these brainstorming sessions and he would listen, he would absorb, he would read the room, and when he spoke, it had meaning. Now this guy, not me, this guy, is really introverted. I mean, when he was dating his future wife, his mother-in-law, after about 6 months, his future mother-in-law said, "Does he even talk?" True story. That's how introverted I was. Not so much anymore. I don't think we change from being who we are, where we generate our energy from. It's just because it's who we are, but I'm now more comfortable speaking. Now, if we were at a networking event, I'm going to be the guy over on the side looking at my phone, unless you approach me. That's okay. Let's talk about some, before I get into my aha moment, let's talk about some myths about introversion. And you could just nod or just raise your hand. How many think that introverts are shy? Yeah, it's a trait. Clearly, a lot of us are shy, but it's not like we're afraid of people. We just get our energy from being in our own head, our own space. That's how we get our energy. Myth number 2. Introverts really don't make great leaders. Yeah. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates would like to have a talk with you. Both introverts. Cillian Murphy, one of the most celebrated actors of our time, was afraid of being famous because he thought that he would have to become an extrovert. He's an introvert, and yet when he's on the screen, he commands our attention. So, we're a little bit shy. We're great leaders. How about are we able to command a room? Take charge. I'm doing that right now because I have prepared myself. And so that's the key. Introverts need time to prepare. So if you're going to drive a meeting, a brainstorming, if you give an introvert time to prepare, they will wow you with their insight, their depth of thinking. So my aha moment was in a brainstorming session where I paid attention and I came up with this concept because I could think about this project in a different way. And that was the moment where I said, if I lean into my introversion, I will be successful. And I have been. I rose up from artist to vice president of creativity at Walt Disney Imagineering. It took a while, but that's what I did. So as I stand on this red Pantone colored 185 carpet, want to ask you, extroverts, to give us space, to let us wow you. We want to wow you. We want to impress you. And to my introverted friends, lean into your superpower. Being an introvert is a superpower. We listen deeply. Let's try something right now. If you can pair up a little bit, or if there's three of you, it doesn't matter. One of you is going to be the speaker, and the other one is going to be the listener. Now here's what you're going to do. The listener is not going to think about a follow-up question. They're not going to try to fill in the pregnant pauses. They're just going to listen. And the speaker, like 30 seconds, anything, what you had for lunch, what you're going to do tomorrow, what your kids are doing, it doesn't matter. Just speak, and the listeners are just going to listen. Okay? So pair up. Let's try this. Just 30 seconds. Go. Excellent. Thank you, everybody. Now, let's reverse the ones that were speaking, and now you're just going to be a listener. Again, you're not going to try to figure out what to say next. You're just going to listen. Okay? And go. Okay, so the people that when you were the listener or when you were the speaker, did you feel like you were actually listened to? They heard you? That's what introverts do innately. We don't just listen, we absorb. We hear your words, we check your body posture, we understand what's going on in the room. So that's why introverts are great leaders. We listen to our colleagues and we listen to our clients because we listen. We listen. Okay? Another thing about introversion, we are very deep thinkers. As we say in the artist kind of world, we talk about going down a rabbit hole, which means we get so far into what we're creating that it's like being in a rabbit hole, and then when somebody calls us on the phone or whatever, we have to get out of this rabbit hole and we have to go like, what? Now what do you want? And it's very frustrating for us, but we are such deep thinkers, and that's why introverts are so integral and to have on your team, because we can think about things in different ways. Okay? Finally, we don't just speak to hear our voice. We speak when we have something interesting to say, something powerful. And in business, it's not the loudest voice, it's the ones that make the most impact. That's what you have to have on your team. So that is why introversion and extroverts need to be together. Extroverts, we admire your ability to command a team, to command a room. But we also need introversion. So extroverts drive momentum, introverts drive foundation. So with that, I think every TED Talk should have two things. One, an idea to share, which I hope I've shared. And second, a call to action. Extroverts, give us the space. Let us wow you. We want to. Introverts, lean into your introversion. It's your superpower. You just have to decide if you're going to use it for good or evil. Thank you.